Alright guys, welcome back to Stockcarrundown's Tips and Picks. We're at Chicagoland this weekend. Sorry about the video quality. We're at the beach with the family this weekend. So we'll get right into it. Should be an interesting weekend. Qualifying's all jacked up the way NASCAR did it this weekend. They qualified and then they had inspection. So a bunch of guys failed. Not a bunch, but four notable guys failed. They'll be starting in the back. We'll get into that. So Truex, Johnson, Hamlin, and Buescher are all starting in the back. They will be scored from the back though. NASCAR took their qualifying spots away, so look for those guys. We'll get right into it here. Oh, Stenhouse Jr. also starting from the back, but not because he failed inspection, because he had a pinched brake line that they found after qualifying. So he will still be scored from 20th, I believe, but he will be starting at the back of the field because they had to fix that. Alright, so Truex, my number one guy this week. He's won the last two here, $10,900. Second in happy hour, but he failed post-race or post-qualifying inspection, like I said. So he will start 36th, I believe it is. Look for him to score a ton of position differential points this week, which makes him my top guy because he still has a chance to win the race from back there. Should be pretty good. My second guy, Chris Buescher this week. I know, right? Weird. But he's only $6,300, and he's one of the guys who failed qualifying inspection, so he's starting way back there. I believe in 40th, 39th, or 40th, depending on how many drivers they have this week. I can't remember, but he's dead last. Can't get any worse than that, right? So no negative points this week. But he finished 18th and 13th the last two races at Chicagoland. He was 11th in happy hour yesterday, so he's got a semi-decent car. I would look for him to back those two finishes up. Look for him to finish somewhere around 18th, 16th, somewhere in there. That would be an amazing day. Well beyond his value if you're only spending $6,300 for him. So I think he's pretty much a must start on everybody's team this week. You guys do what you want, but that's who I'm going with. Hamlin and Johnson, also both extremely good picks this week. Hamlin coming in at 9,300, Johnson at 87. They're both starting at the back. Both failed qualifying inspection, like I said. Both have decent cars and good records here. Denny coming out on the better end of that. Second and a third here the last two trips to Chicagoland. And he was also had the fourth best 10-lap average yesterday. So Denny's definitely a good pick. I think Johnson is a little cheaper than him. So if you got to only fit one in, Johnson might save you a little bit. I don't expect him to have as good a day as Denny though, so keep that in mind. My guys that I think will win the race today, Harvick or Larson. I believe you will see them battling out at the end. Harvick, really expensive again this week, go figure, $11,800. Larson, $10,400. Neither one of them had a good qualifying position. It is an impound race, so that's why you're going to see a lot of the guys who are going to run good today not starting as well. They chose to lean on race setup more than qualifying setup, it seems. But since they're both not qualifying at the front, they both have potential to get us points that way too. So they're both good picks. Like I said though, Harvick is really expensive, so fit them in if you can. The problem I see this weekend is there isn't a whole lot of inexpensive guys that are going to provide a lot of value. So it's going to make it tough to fit Harvick and maybe a Larson in there. Like I said, Buescher's your main guy at 63. He'll save you some room. Other than that, I'm not seeing a whole lot of upside for these guys coming in at a low dollar value this week. A couple that might get you something: William Byron, 6,400. He looked good in first practice. He could pull out a top 10 this weekend. It's kind of a track that he seems to be good at. Multiple grooves. He's starting a little higher up than I would like to see him, 8th. But, you know, he could get 4 times value this week as long as he gets a solid finish out of the day. And considering the people that are around him, I think he's one of the better ones by far. The other guy I would say to look at is Paul Menard. I don't expect him to finish first, but maybe if he can get a couple points from leading at the beginning, their team's on a roll So $7,000 for Menard this week. I think he'll hit value. I definitely expect a top 10 out of him today. So like I said, as far as cheap guys go, that's about as cheap as the potential goes for value as far as I can see, but we'll see. There may be some guys that surprise me this week. Jimmy Mack, I think, is a pretty decent deal at 11-1. A little more expensive than I would like to see him, but I think he can hit value too. He's in a decent spot, starting 13th. Probably going to run a similar setup to Larson. I expect Larson to be really good, so watch out for Mack. Blaney, I also think Blaney will be a good card today. Starting second, I expect him to pass Menard early and get out front, lead some laps, get some points like that for us. He's not bad priced either, only 8,300, so you may be able to fit him in fairly decent. And it's going to take guys like Truex and Larson and maybe even Harvick a little while to get to the front. Maybe not Harvick, that's so long because he's starting 11th, but some of the bigger names are starting 18th on back, so might give Blaney a couple good 50 laps to lead or so. We'll see. Should be interesting, guys. Like I said, with the guys coming from the back, a lot of good cars coming from the back. Should at least be an exciting race to watch. I hope you guys kicked ass last week. I mean, we did some pretty good picks last week, so I hope you guys made out well. If you did, I want to hear about it. Same as this week. If you guys are playing the double ups and stuff this week, I'd focus on those guys at the back, man. You're really just trying to beat half the field, and those guys are going to get you a lot of good points coming from the back. So look at that when you're setting your lineups, all right? I'm going to get back to the beach with the family. You guys, good luck today. May the cautions be with you. We'll catch you next week. Later.